Hey everyone, welcome to Keller Acres. Today I'm sharing my go-to chili recipe that I've been making for years. This is just my favorite way to make chili. Obviously chili is super simple, that's what I love about it. Simple ingredients, it's budget friendly, easy to make. You can just throw it all, well, you can throw it in a pot on the stove or throw it in the crock pot. That's my favorite way to do it. Let it heat up for 2-3 hours and you're ready to go. Or of course you can let it simmer longer if you prefer. I tend to just let mine go for 2-3 hours and then we eat it. For this super simple recipe, all you're gonna need, my one favorite different thing to use in this chili, at least I think it's a little bit different, is chili starter. So I like to use a combination of chili ready diced tomatoes, which of course diced tomatoes is your normal chili ingredient, but this chili starter is seasoned crushed and diced tomatoes. And why I like to add this to my chili is it just makes the consistency a little bit thicker so it's not so watery. When I just use diced tomatoes, to me it's too watery. I don't know, and the tomatoes it just isn't as good. So I discovered this chili starter several years ago at our Hy-Vee. That's our one of our major grocery store chains in our area. And I don't know if other grocery store chains have their own brand of chili starter also, but that was where I first discovered it and started using it. And then just in the last few years, I've started finding it at Walmart, which is super convenient. It's the Great Value brand. So I love that. Now I don't have to go to Hy-Vee for it specifically. So wherever it is you live, if you're looking for this, you should at least be able to find it at Walmart. And I know Walmart's all over the country, or possibly your large grocery store, whatever that is in your area. They may carry it and they may not, who knows? So again, I like to use a combination of the diced tomatoes, the chili ready because they're already seasoned, and this chili starter. I also like to add small can of tomato sauce to mine. This is just something I've always done. It's not a big deal if you don't have it and you leave it out, but it's just part of my go-to recipe. I also add 1 can of chili beans. I would potentially add 2 cans if I were making a larger batch, but I'm not making a really big batch today because it's just my husband and I, and we'll eat it leftover, but we don't need like a whole crock pot full of chili for the 2 of us. So for just a partial crock pot of chili, I'm just using 1 can. I love the Mrs. Grimes chili beans. I like the regular ones, but especially these spicy hot ones. This just adds, to me, the perfect amount of heat to your chili. It doesn't make it overly hot, but it adds just a little bit of extra flavor that is so good, I think. And then if you're like my husband, he has to add like Frank's and whatever. He likes to make his super hot, but this is just a nice general recipe that I feel like appeals to most people. And then 1 packet of chili seasoning, whatever kind you like. I just happen to like this Hy-Vee brand. I don't go in Hy-Vee very often, so sometimes when I'm in there, I'm like, okay, what are the things that I like from Hy-Vee that I can only find here? But I've also used the Great Value brand and other brands, and of course, they're just fine. So 1 packet of chili seasoning. A couple of years ago, my husband and I attended a chili cook-off in our town, and I was surprised that none of the chilies had beans in them. I did not realize that beans were not a normal staple in chili. I thought they were. Anyway, according to my husband, they're not. It's like a northern thing. But to me, chili is not chili without chili beans. They're so good. Also, I will be adding 1 pound of ground beef. Almost forgot to mention that. You could substitute ground turkey if you prefer, or you can leave the meat out entirely if you're someone that doesn't eat meat. And then you could just add more beans, and beans are budget friendly. Very good for you, lots of fiber, got some protein in there. So let's get to making this. I am going to start by adding in 3 cans of my diced chili beans. I make this for my husband to take to work sometimes, and so we make the crock pot all the way full when he takes it to work, so I don't always remember how many cans I need for just us. So I'm gonna start with what I know for sure I need, which is for sure I'll need 3 cans of diced tomatoes and 2 cans of chili starter. Then I'm just gonna kind of see where I'm at in my crock pot and go from there. So if you wanna make more, if you're making yours for lots of people, then just add more. But I do, just so you know kind of my ratio, I do approximately 3 cans of the chili tomatoes to 2 cans of the chili starter. And no matter how much I'm making, I always just add 1 can of the tomato sauce, because that's just my thing. And then again, if you're making a larger amount, I would add 2 cans of beans. That again depends on your taste preference and your family. When I used to be making this for when the kids were at home too, everyone always complained that I put too many beans in it, because I would always add 2 cans of beans. So I've cut back to 1. Sadly, I like a lot of beans in it. I think the beans are so good. All right, next I'm gonna add in my ground beef and then kind of see where I'm at. Then I'm gonna be putting mine on high, just because I'm starting this kind of later in the afternoon. And I'm not one of those people that puts it on and lets it simmer all day. You certainly could, but I usually just do it closer to the time we're gonna be eating, within 2 or 3 hours. That's usually when I start mine. All right, this looks really good, nice and thick. I think this might be about the perfect amount. So yeah, I'm gonna show you where this is at in my crock pot. So this is how far up mine goes. So if you're making this for more people, I would just add in at least 1 more can, if not 2, of chili tomatoes and another can of chili starter, and of course some more beans. But for 2 people, I don't want mine filled all the way to the tops. So again, just to kind of recap, I did 3 cans of the diced chili ready tomatoes, 2 cans of the chili starter, 1 small can of the tomato sauce, 1 can of spicy hot chili beans, so good, and 1 package of chili seasoning. Give that a nice stir, and 1 pound of ground beef. So gonna go ahead and get this going on high, and then I'll see you back in a couple hours and we'll see how this is looking and give it a taste. Okay, the chili is ready to eat. Mine has been simmering on high in the crock pot for 2 hours. One thing I did want to add that I forgot to mention earlier, of course, make sure when you add your meat that you've already cooked it. I spaced mentioning that. I'd already browned my ground beef ahead of time. So I'm sure you probably already know that, but just in case, I wanted to mention that, just to make sure there's no confusion. You don't want to try to cook your meat in the chili. Anyway, this chili looks amazing, smells amazing. Also, this chili did win a chili competition at my husband's work one year. Give this chili a try. It is really, really good. Nice, thick, hearty, just kind of that perfect amount of spice. Not too spicy, just kind of enough spice for most taste buds, in my opinion. Thanks for watching, guys. Give this recipe a try. If you do, hey, be sure to comment. Let us know what you think. If you liked this chili recipe, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well and give us a like. Thanks for watching.